Well, some rather interesting information has just surfaced about the FBI's raid over Donald Trump's home. In fact, I believe that we may have a clue to what's going on, but this clue is found all the way back to Trump's final day as president, January 19th, 2021, and I believe that may harbor a clue to what's going on. But before I get into that clue, I want to remind you guys that there's so many questions that are surrounding this entire thing. For starters, we all know that Donald Trump was complying with the FBI. When they issued their subpoena, he gave over 15 boxes of information. Take a look at what I'm talking about here because I think this kind of really outlines the truth of what's going on. And this is on justthenews.com. Questions grow about Trump raid after revelation of grand jury subpoena and extensive cooperation. Trump got spring grand jury subpoena, gathered the documents, turned them over, and even allowed agents to search his storage locker. The FBI later added. 2 months before the Florida home was raided by the FBI, Donald Trump secretly received a grand jury subpoena for classified documents belonging to the National Archives and voluntarily cooperated by turning over responsive evidence, surrendering security surveillance footage, and allowing federal agents and a senior Justice Department lawyer to tour his private locker, according to half a dozen people familiar with the incident. So that kind of just gives you an overall of how he was cooperating. Well, evidently, he handed over 15 boxes of information as well. Now, if the subpoena worked the first time and Trump was cooperating, the question therein lies, why not issue a second subpoena? Why just insist on going to his home? The next question that we really have to ask is, the National Archives and Records Administration, this is what this is about? That's akin to taking some kind of information from the library, which it would never suffice a raid, especially a raid on a former president of the United States. And another question we have to ask is, Trump as president can declassify whatever he wants for the most part, and he could have just easily declassified those documents. So what is really the truth behind it all? Now, I've kind of outlined a lot of that in my earlier report that I posted on restrictedrepublic.com. And this one was titled, not only the day after Trump raid, but even what happened before that. What happened right before Trump got raided is key to it all. And I want to encourage you guys to check that out right now on Restricted Republic. By the way, you can get it for $3.99 per month for the first year. Use the coupon code FJB. All right. But with that, there's all these questions and problems that are really surrounding this entire thing that is leaving many of us saying there's more to the story. Now, in that video, I detailed many things that it could be. One, it's a distraction. I do believe that for both the FBI and the Biden administration. The second thing that I noted is that they are very desperate to incite Trump supporters into some kind of secondary J6 event or some kind of violence. I believe they are pushing hardcore to get that. Please do not fall for it. I am not for violence in any way, shape, or form. So I want to just tell you, don't take that bait. Now, I believe there could be another potential reason for this, which I'm going to detail in today's report, because the reason why they raided doesn't really there's so many questions that need to be asked and addressed. And why would you do this over National Archives so-called classified information, and then, of course, not do anything to Hillary Clinton, who acid watched her 33,000 emails. But I digress. In order to find this next thing that it could potentially be, or a potential reason why, speculation, if you will, we have to go back to the very day that President Trump exited the White House, his very last day in office. He published a memorandum, and this memorandum may harbor a key to why, potentially, the FBI is on his case. Take a look here. And this is the memorandum that he published. Memorandum on declassification of certain materials related to the FBI's Crossfire Hurricane investigation. Notice, issued on his last day in office. And here's what it states. At my request, on December 30th, 2020, the Department of Justice provided the White House with a binder of materials related to the FBI's investigation of Crossfire Hurricane. Portions of the documents in the binder have remained classified and have not been released to Congress or the public. I requested the documents so that the declassification review could be performed and so I could determine to what extent materials in the binder should be released in unclassified form. I determined that the materials in the binder should be declassified to the maximum extent possible. In response, and as part of the iterative process of the declassification review, under a cover letter dated January 17, 2021, the FBI noted its continuing objection to any further declassification of the materials in the binder, and also on the basis of a review that included intelligence community equities, identified the passages that it believed it would be most crucial to keep from public disclosure. I have determined to accept the redactions proposed for continued classifications by the FBI. I hereby declassify the remaining materials in the binder. There it is. So he calls for the complete release of information on the Crossfire Hurricane investigation. The FBI was like, no. We don't want that. We don't want that. Now, why would they be against this, right? Well, you would think within a week or two at the most that this information would eventually come out. Well, it still has not come out to date. They are defying the orders from Donald J. Trump when he was president, and they're still defying. Take a look here at what I found. This is on Chuck Grassley, but this is posted February 15th of this year, so just a couple of months ago. Biden administration continues to conceal declassified Crossfire Hurricane records. More than a year after then President Trump directed details of the government's Crossfire Hurricane investigations to be declassified, the Justice Department continues to hide those important records. Senate Judiciary Committee ranking member Chuck Grassley and Permanent Subcommittee on Investigations ranking member Ron Johnson today are calling on the department to promptly comply with the declassification directive. Quote, "We remain concerned that over 1 year from the date then President Donald Trump directed the Justice Department to declassify certain Crossfire Hurricane records, the Justice Department has not only failed to declassify a single page, the department has failed to identify for Congress records that it knows with certainty to be covered by the declassification directive," the senators wrote in a letter to AG Merrick Garland. So Merrick Garland has still not, the FBI, the DOJ has still not released that information. And you would think after Donald Trump declassified it, it would come out. Nope. You would think in February of 2022, after our congressional leaders brought attention to it, that they would do it, and still no. And now, today, it has still not been released. In fact, Judicial Watch is now suing the Biden administration for that information. This is why this is all going to go together. Just follow with me here. Filed August 1st of 2022. You can see Judicial Watch against the U.S. Department of Justice. And what is it over? Well, on February 2022, the plaintiffs submitted a Freedom of Information request to the defendants seeking to access these records. All records regarding the FBI's Crossfire Hurricane investigation that were provided to the White House by the DOJ on or about December 30th. So that is what they're looking for. And he references in this report and that he's suing them, he references Trump's memorandum there as well. So what do they have to hide in Crossfire Hurricane that they don't want the public to know? Obviously, according to Trump's memorandum, the FBI didn't want it out. He says it needs to be unclassified, and it has yet to be unclassified. Well over a year, about a year and a half after the fact. Thank God Judicial Watch is finally suing them. But what's interesting is a little tweet that came out by a New York Post reporter by the name of Paul Sperry. Okay, and this is just a tweet that came out, and unfortunately, his account has now been suspended as a result of Well, we don't really know. According to John Sperry, it was banned because they believe him to be a bot. But what's interesting is the tweets that he put out just prior to, well, his account getting suspended. And one of those tweets kind of puts all this together. Let me show you that tweet. Take a look here on Twitter. And this was retweeted by Christina Wong and Liberty Links 2.0. And here's what they said. Investigative journalist Paul Sperry tweeted this earlier today, and he's now suspended. Let's blow that up. And here's what he said. Developing. Investigators reportedly met back in June with Trump and his lawyers in Mar-a-Lago's storage room to survey documents and things that seemed copacetic, but then FBI raids weeks later. Speculation on the Hill, FBI had personal stake in searching for classified documents related to its hashtag Spygate scandal. And you can see his account is now suspended. Interesting. Speculation, I just want to reread that part. Speculation on the Hill that FBI had personal stake in searching for classified documents related to Spygate scandal, aka Crossfire Hurricane. So what is he suggesting there? Well, he's saying that we have speculation, rumor, speculation, thought, which means it's not exactly a proven fact. It's not fact. I would love to see more evidence on that, but it's a speculation coming from a New York Post reporter. And I'll let you guys kind of decide your thoughts or theories on that. As I'm saying right now, I can't prove anything. But what I do know, according to Paul Sperry, there is speculation that the FBI had a personal stake in the matter, meaning maybe something would have affected them personally that they were trying to hide, that maybe Trump had. I don't know. That's speculation. That's how I'm reading it. Regarding the Spygate scandal, aka what went on with the Russia collusion, the spying on President Trump, all a Crossfire Hurricane. And according to Sperry there, the reason that his account was suspended was because they thought he was a bot. Really, he's got thousands, tens of thousands of followers. I found this on the Epoch Times. Twitter suspends journalist Paul Sperry. They can silence anybody. And the reason that he gave is this, quote, "No rules were broken. They just didn't like my content because of their politics. They're trying to claim I'm a robot, when of course they know better. Tyrants, this is the second time I've been harassed since Trump was banned." And that's according to Sperry. So this is the reason that we have thus far been given. Lots of things kind of, going on with this. And again, it really leaves lots of questions in my mind because Donald Trump was cooperating. And again, not just was he cooperating, he allowed them to search certain areas. He was being open and honest. There was absolutely no reason for a raid of this nature. And obviously, we're still waiting for the information to come out. I would like to know what was actually in the warrant. In fact, the judge is now, the judge linked to Epstein, by the way, he is now independent.com asking for that information to come out. The judge who signed FBI Mar-a-Lago warrant tells the Department of Justice to respond to requests to unseal it. In fact, multiple agencies are asking for it. Fox News, Trump FBI raid, Albany Times Union, Judicial Watch, request release of Mar-a-Lago's search warrant. So everybody is requesting this and asking for that information. I would love to see what was inside of it. I think we all kind of want to, but the very judge needs to recuse himself, by the way, which he did before. Interesting information on that. I think it was a Clinton and Trump situation, but this particular judge had negative post on social media about Donald Trump, not to mention he donated to Obama and has ties to Epstein, or was involved in the Epstein lawyer part of that, or the Epstein, the whole, God, why am I blanking? Judge all of that. But he was involved with that in some way, shape, or form. But either way, I think the information should come out. One more piece to the puzzle that I find interesting is some kind of informer that was, I guess, ratting on Trump. Take a look here. And this is on Newsweek exclusive. An informer told the FBI what documents Trump was hiding and where. And one of those areas actually included his safe, but nothing was inside of it. But what's interesting is informers were also used on other Trump people, right? Just as a reminder, I thought I'd throw this up. DailyCaller.com, declassified memo. FBI planted a crossfire, there's that word again, crossfire hurricane agent in Trump Flynn briefing. Wait now. So they use these quite often against presidents? I mean, I don't think against all presidents. I think just against one. Because unfortunately, I believe the FBI has been weaponized as a political organization by the Democrats and the Biden administration. They're not equal for both sides, and that is becoming more and more obvious with the day. Anyhow, wanted to bring you the latest on all of that. Love to hear your comments and concerns. Thanks again for tuning in, and please don't forget to check out my partner at getthetea.com. If you guys have not tried this stuff, by the way, you really should. It has really done a 180 on my entire digestive tract, and go directly to getthetea.com/Lisa, because this is where you can get these specials. And if you plug in the coupon code Lisa, just LISA, you can get free shipping on that. But here it is, the Super C and the Life Change C. And I always want to include the Life Change Tea because it really has done amazing things for my body. It's taken me out of a funk, digestively speaking. This is my personal experience, what has happened to me. I have given and bought packs of this stuff for my friends, and it has really done a 180 on their digestive system as well. So get yourself cleaned out. This is one of the things that we could do to keep ourselves extra healthy. But get it right now. You can get that $15 discount on the Coral C with the tea there. And check it out at getthetea.com/Lisa. Anyhow, thanks again for tuning in. I'm Lisa Haven signing out.